Today's yoga story is all about a princess and a superhero. Are you ready to get stretching and get moving? I hope you enjoy the story. Once upon a time, there was a princess called Aisha. Aisha was the most beautiful princess you had ever seen. She wore a beautiful dress, and everywhere she went, she curtsied to her people. Everyone said, "Oh, Aisha, you are a beautiful princess. You walk so beautifully. You sing so beautifully." But what people didn't know was that at the back of Aisha's cupboard was hidden a cape, a magic cape which turned Aisha into a superhero. Whenever Aisha put her cape on, she was no longer Aisha the princess. She was Aisha the superhero. Put one foot in front of the other, turn the back foot, stretch one hand up into the air, the other hand out behind you to make your superhero pose. Aisha, the superhero, could do anything. She could fly planes. Feet together, arms out. Can you bend forward and stretch one leg out behind you like you're flying an aeroplane? Well done, good balancing. Aisha, the superhero princess, could climb mountains. Stretch one hand in the air, and the opposite foot up. And the other hand in the air, and the opposite foot up. Can you climb the mountains with Aisha? Well done. Aisha, the superhero princess, could sail boats. Feet apart, bend one knee, stretch one arm out, and lift the other arm up into the sky to make the sail of a boat. Now, one day, Aisha was sitting at home in her garden when suddenly a storm started to blow up. The wind began to blow. It got harder and it got harder. And as the wind blew, it whipped all of the washing off the royal washing line. It flew up into the air and landed on top of the royal palace. This was definitely a job for Aisha, the superhero princess. Quickly, she grabbed her cape and turned into Aisha the Superhero. Then she began to climb. Can you climb with Aisha? Up, up, up she climbed, all the way to the top of the royal palace, where she managed to grab hold of all the washing. But just then she heard a shout. Aisha! Princesses don't climb! The next day, Aisha was in her garden again when she saw her pussycat. Can we go into cat pose? Hands down the floor, then arch your back up like a pussycat, and then lower it down to the ground. Can you meow like a pussycat? Meow, meow. But suddenly, Aisha noticed that the pussycat was stuck in the mud. Meow, help, help, cried the pussycat. Quickly, Aisha grabbed her superhero cape. She threw it on and went to the rescue. Taking one big step in front of her, she reached forward and she grabbed hold of the pussycat and pulled him back to safety. But But at that moment, she heard a shout. Aisha! Princesses don't go in the mud. Poor Aisha. The next day, Aisha was walking through the town. Big lunging footsteps as Aisha walks through the town. Suddenly, she heard an awful noise. What was it? And then she saw a horse. Go down onto one knee and then stretch the other arm up into the sky to make our horse pose. The horse had broken away from its owner and was galloping through the town, knocking over stalls and bashing into villagers and causing mayhem. Quickly, Aisha grabbed her superhero cape and she leapt onto the horse's back and she rode him to safety. Can you rock backwards and forwards to ride the horse with Aisha? Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Well done. That night, Aisha was sitting in bed when suddenly she heard the telephone ring. Ring, 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 ring. Her dad answered it. Oh, hello? Yes, what's that you say? There's a problem. There's a problem. There's a volcano that's going to erupt. Oh, dear. Quickly, her father, the king, grabbed his other phone and made another phone call. Quick, quick, we need someone to help. What do you mean there's no one there to help? The volcano is going to erupt. What was going to happen? Aisha knew this was a job for a superhero. Quickly, she grabbed her superhero cape. She threw it on and she became Aisha, the superhero princess once again. One foot in front of the other. Turn the back foot, one arm in the air, stretch out behind. Aisha, the superhero, to the rescue! She ran out into the garden and climbed into her aeroplane. Arms out, bending forward and then lifting one foot up behind you to fly Aisha's aeroplane. Off we go. She flew the aeroplane to the volcano, dodging rocks and flying lava. There was smoke everywhere. But Aisha was brave. She made it to the volcano. When she reached the volcano, she had to climb to the top as it was very tall. Are we ready to climb with Aisha? Up she climbed. It was really dangerous. It was hot. There was dust in her eyes, but she kept going. When Aisha reached the top, she took a bottle of super coolant from her pocket and bending over the edge of the volcano, she tipped the super coolant into the volcano. There was a loud hissing sound as the volcano cooled down and the lava slowed right down. Yes! Cheered everyone in the world. We're saved! But suddenly, Aisha heard a shout. Aisha! Princesses don't save the world! Aisha replied, I'm not a princess. I'm a superhero princess.